Today, we're having a Love Islandpalooza, talking about everything from Mommy's Little Meatball to Megan the Blessed Stallion. We're feeling inspired about our Lansdale heroes, the Wonder Years, and we're trying to figure out if Chrisley knows best or just fraud. As always, we name our liar of the week, and we prove that there's a little bit of emo in everyone. Listen, your friends and family might think this is trash TV. Your mom might have called your love for emo music a phase. But here, we know pop culture moments and alternative music scenes shaped us and still do. So let's laugh together, cry together, scream at the TV together. Welcome to Reality Emos. Hello, my saddies. So, unfortunately, this week's rant is replaced with news of an unfortunate passing in the reality TV community. So last week at a No Kings rally, we unfortunately lost a wonderfully talented designer, photographer named Afa Alu from Project Runway. So Afa was a contestant on season 17 of Project Runway back in 2019. And unfortunately, as he was peacefully protesting basic human rights, his life was taken in crossfire with a bad actor. And I just wanted to take a moment to, first of all, thank people like this who grace our televisions and show us the beauty of their cultures and the beauty of diversity. Afa Alu brought the spirit of Samoa into every single one of his pieces. As you can see on your screen for those watching, he was a very talented designer. And on the left side of the screen, you can also see he was a talented photographer. Those are pictures that he took. And I'm just eternally grateful for and obsessed with people like Afa Alu that come onto our television screens and spread the joy and the honor of what it is to behold diversity and culture. And it's why shows like Project Runway and RuPaul's Drag Race hold a special place in my heart, because I feel they truly do a good job telling those stories, and they show such beautiful gorge culture and authenticity in every episode. I will be including a link to Afalu's GoFundMe in the description. He leaves behind a gorgeous wife and two wonderful little children. And it's just a shame that bad actors ruin things like peaceful protests in a country like America, where you're supposed to be able to do this freely and peacefully. I also want to segue this into reminding everyone that protesting is punk rock, it's rock and roll. We can say it's emo. My emo darlings, we need to be out in these streets protesting for our rights to cry. Yeah. The husband and I were lucky enough to find a protest in Westchester, Pennsylvania, our college town. Shout out to Bam Margera's hometown. Whoop whoop. And it was a peaceful day. There was just one dude who like flipped the bird as he was driving by, but aside from that, we didn't have anyone specifically ruin things that day. And I'll say it was a lot more peaceful than a lot of the nights and days I spent in that college town. I was there when the Phillies won the World Series in 2008. That was a million times more chaotic than anything I've ever experienced at a protest. So, yeah, just a reminder that we should be out there protesting fascism. It's punk rock. And this leads me to also show such immense pride for the Music Excite Times of this week. hometown heroes, the Wonder Years. I was lucky enough to grow up in Lansdale, PA, and see the rise of this band and just feel so much pride in my heart for what they did on the Warped Tour stage. I'm gonna play a clip of what Soupy said, but it was so cool to see a band so near and dear to my heart and vicinity do something like this on such a big stage, on such a big platform on Amazon Prime.
Our time is almost up, but they gave me a stage and a microphone. They put it on Amazon Prime. Hey? So before we get out of here, I gotta say three things. I gotta say protect trans youth. I gotta say fuck ICE. And with my whole fucking chest, I gotta say free Palestine. Anybody watching at home, anybody walking by, you want to know who said it? You tell them it's the motherfucking Wonder Years from Philadelphia. And one time, we came out. You ready? Are you ready? Moves on my shades and my pants, baby.
So it was also equally as amazing that they came out swinging right after that. um, that song's fire. Make sure if you don't know it, get to know it. These fellas are super busy on top of using their voice for good in this world, using their platform to stand up for people who don't have a platform. They are busy as heck. So they just wrapped up their Burst and Decay tour from May to June. And they also dropped a gorgeous Burst and Decay album, Volume 3. And for the first time, their Burst and Decay album had a new song on it. So be sure to check out Junebug. They also will be at the future Warped Tour dates in California and Florida. And they are also on the Maximum Fun Tour with A Day to Remember, Yellow Card, and other special guests like State Champs, Boundaries, and Dinosaur Pileup. So stay on top of what the exciting times of the Wonder Years will provide us in the very near future. And please be sure to support bands like this who are making a difference with their voice. It is so needed right now. This is, I know a lot of people don't expect this from artists or they don't look to bands to use their voice to do this, but as someone in a minority community, I 100% appreciate this. It makes me feel safe. It makes me feel seen when I go to shows like this. And props, shout out to the Wonder Years for everything y'all are doing. Thank you. Up next, I noticed I heard a little rumor on TikTok that the audience of Love Island, obviously it's expanding within the last week. I know 3 people in my life who started watching it and never did. So it's expanding, but I heard that there are more men allegedly watching Love Island than the NBA finals. So I decided to bring in a person who might be familiar with this statistic, someone who is watching Love Island rather than the NBA finals. 1 second. So there was a TikTok mentioning that there are more men watching Love Island than the NBA finals, and as I started digging into this, I thought I'd bring in my own DI hire, Eric here.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, my message to all the other men watching Love Island is, please stop. I'm sad that my interest is not novel anymore, and now I can't walk around being like, I'm not like other guys. Like, I can't do that anymore, because now apparently all of you are also watching Love Island.
Unfortunately, you can't. I know about 3 people just this week who never watched it, and now they are. And it's become I won't say worldwide phenomenon, but definitely an American phenomenon.
I don't feel special anymore, and I hate it.
Eh. Well, now you are a man with a mic, a podcast mic.
Yeah, I know.
Pretty special.
We decided to take those away from more white men back
Yeah,
in
now,
November, but
now you're
I've
special.
been called. I've been called up to the plate.
So I can't necessarily find streaming stats, but Deadline had an article from their parent company, Luminate, that outlined that this season of Love Island has racked up 1.2 billion minutes viewed across available episodes. And that was as of last week. And that's compared to the NBA Finals, which had an audience of 9.5, a little over 9.5 million people.
Wait. So 9.5 million viewers versus however many billion minutes.
Minutes, yeah. It's a
Okay.
lot. It seems like a lot.
Yeah, it is.
I
We
can't find evidence to substantiate that more men are watching Love Island, but the data shows that there's a lot of people watching. You're watching it.
can we say they're watching more Love Island than they are I mean, there's also
Yeah.
more Love Island on TV probably, given it's an hour every night. But although I don't know.
How long is a basketball game? Neither of us know, I bet.
This is a horrible time for people that we have to move on.
All right. So I wanted to bring in Eric as a co-host because every night, except for Wednesdays and sometimes Saturdays, he makes sure we're sat on the couch at 9 p.m. local time to watch Love Island. We both have the app downloaded for the first time ever. This is serious business this year. So you have a lot of thoughts and opinions and feelings.
Yeah, number one being that I'm not watching After Sun on Saturdays. Saturday night is for a break from Love Island.
After Sun's kind of lit though. Like
Yeah.
you do learn. They bring on the Islanders,
Oh, really?
yeah, they have Sophia or Ariana, I forget, interview them. I think
Like
both
the
of them.
current Islanders?
Yeah.
Wow. And they just don't give them any clues.
No, they give them little interviews. Like I learned that Shelley doesn't really like Austin on one of them.
I mean,
I mean,
that's well, you had to wait for After Sun to tell you that.
But she straight up said it. Like she was giving him some signs that there was a chance.
Speaking of Austin, I don't know if any of you tried voting like right after the episode, Friday night was it? But I saw a comment on Reddit that was like Austin would love this voter suppression that's happening right now.
That boy. I don't talk a ton about him. But welcome to Love Island Palooza, Eric.
Woo!
All right.
Fun.
So let's first talk about Reddit realness. That's the initial segment. I'm always on Reddit, as you know. And I saw this wonderful still of Amaya. And we love her. We know she's made for reality TV. She is such a drama queen, but she fits into the absurdity of this season so well. I think that this fire pit scene was like the best 10 minutes of TV I've seen in a while. Drama wise, Megan Thee Stallion episode was like the best, but we'll get into that. So I just wanted to play a little bit of it because yes, Allie 3901. Amaya is made for reality TV. I think she made up like 30% of why this scene was so great.
Tonight, one of you will be going home.
What? No. What?
And that decision is not up to America. It's up to your fellow Islanders that were not recoupled.
No.
Shelley, Amaya, Sierra, Austin, Ace, and Nick. You each have to decide who you want to dump right here and right now.
No, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that, though.
I'll tell you what, if someone isolates this footage, this looks really bad for
so
us.
bad
This does
for
not
me.
look good on us. We're just listening to Amaya very upset, and we're laughing.
We don't want to do that. Like, what is Ariana gonna say there? Oh, you know what, guys? Yeah, you have been through a lot tonight. We don't want to do that.
Again, it's worth a try. I'm a huge proponent of more reality contestants unionizing. If they all say we're not going to do that, what's production actually going to do? Like, were they going to shut the show down? Like, you need us just as much as we need the show. Like,
Yeah, you
possible.
do. You always want a mutiny or union on these shows.
Yeah, Also, Too Hot to Handle needs to unionize. They keep trying to take money away from you guys. What happens if you just burn the whole pot in the first like 24 hours? There's no money left. They have to open up more money for you. They need the show just as much as you need the show.
You
Go
know,
have fun. Go have big cool vacation.
it
Next time
is
you're on that
worth
show.
the try, I guess. Maybe one season
Absolutely.
should just try. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Bro, what?
Basically, oh, I did forget
Tonight.
a wonderful part of
Ass
this.
right now?
If it's
Bro.
let's say,
No! Are you dead ass right now?
if it's
Bro,
listen,
stop.
I just want to say before you do have to make the decision. I just had the most amazing moment with Hannah.
No,
It was just this crazy feeling that I've never felt. Everything.
What's so amazing about this to me is, first of all, the timing of just her yelling no at Charlie trying to talk. But also the fact that, like, at this point, I guess they thought he was going to sacrifice himself or volunteer. Instead, he pleads his case. I feel like if he had not done that, it might have gone better for him. That's just it's so the opposite of a friend move. Like, it's not.
I think he was going home no matter what.
Yeah, they thought he was volunteering. Instead, he was volunteering his other friends to go. He was making a case, like, yo, send Huda and, oh my god, who else was up that night?
Taylor, I think?
Taylor, yeah. That's crazy.
So Reddit Realness, Sid the Street Fighter says, her reaction to Charlie's pleas cracked me up so much. Same. Like, she's just yelling over him as he's like, I met the love of my life. And then they still voted him off.
Yeah, and also, not for nothing, Hannah did move on real quick.
A little too quick.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. Like, it's fine. And I think, with her, like, crying over his photo, like, he got sent off to the trenches of World War I,
Yeah.
I feel like if that actually did happen to him, he would want her to move on.
Touche. Maybe. I'd like to hear from him, but sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is assuming he's like a 1914, dying of trench foot.
Jalapenos 10 does think that Amaya thought Charlie was going to volunteer himself. I did too. I don't think in any of my days of watching Love Island have I seen someone speak up like that at the fire pit. So I thought he was going to sacrifice himself and do the noble thing. But he was pleading for his life. He wanted to be there.
Yeah, no, yeah. Again, he was making the argument to send his friends home.
And I too, Buy More Plant says, I just loved how she seemed to think she could change Ariana/Productions' mind. Like, they'd be all like, oh, you don't want to kick someone out? And look them in the eye and explain why you want them out? I had no idea you'd feel this way. Never mind. You don't have to vote. Yes, and are you dead ass the whole time? We need her in this house.
Yeah. No, Amaya's made for reality TV.
And Nikhil says she reminds me of someone from 2000s reality TV before anyone was afraid of being canceled or losing followers and hyper aware of their image. For that, I love her. And Lad Love 658 says they imagine her more in Flavor of Love than Love Island. And I agree.
That's so hateful. That's such a hateful thing to say to I feel like that's awful to say to anyone. That's rude to say to Flavor Flav in 2025.
No, there's some. I mean, we got Tiffany Pollard from that.
Tiffany Pollard is an icon, but that does not mean she was also not deeply unhinged on Flavor of Love.
Okay, do you feel like this is not unhinged? Amaya wearing these strappy heels. Ian pointed this out, and I can't get over it.
I mean,
while suntanning in these strappy heels.
Flavor of Love is like Pumpkin spits on what's her face on her way out the door. That's Flavor. Flavor of Love needed a whole other series called Charm School after it, hosted by a different Monique. It was
okay. Touche.
I don't think there's ever going to be Love Island Charm School in the future. We have spin-offs.
I mean, let's get into who belongs on Charm School. This is a good segue to our next portion of Love Island.
Wait. Can I guess who needs to go to Charm School?
Sure.
Must be Nick.
It's a girl.
No? Oh, man, must be... I'm kidding. It's obviously Huda.
So I do want to talk about Huda and Jeremiah. And I want to preface this with saying I am not a Jeremiah apologist. I am a Huda hater, and I am someone who generally does support women's rights and wrongs, but Huda's wrongs are indefensible, and I haven't seen her do a lot of right. So
Yeah, Jeremiah is not a perfect victim. In fact, he's barely an acceptable victim. But that does not that doesn't mean that he's not being abused in this moment. And it is at the point for me where I feel like production probably should have had like the, hey, if you were a loved one is dealing with, something abuse in a relationship or something like that. That's my opinion. I felt like it got really, really out of hand.
it got really dark, and I thought about if a man were to do half of the things Huda has done, would I be creating a change.org petition to get her out of the house? Probably. Um, I also, Jeremiah lost me at the fetishization. I can never say that. Fetishization of the new bombshell or nuclear. I would say she's the nuclear option. She's not just a bombshell. The whole like, I love Latino woman. He lost me
Yeah,
there.
that was wild.
I didn't really appreciate that. So again, I'm not defending him.
I was
I'm
upset
not
when we met.
apologizing for him.
I was upset when we met and you didn't say, I'm really into Irishmen. But,
Sorry.
know.
Has anyone ever said that to you?
Yeah, no one ever says it, actually. No one said it once, ever, I don't think. I don't think that's a thing people say.
So my main issue with the two of them is that they're just not compatible, and I don't necessarily see any issue with the way Jeremiah has gone about his relationship with her. I feel that they were hot and heavy from the beginning because she's a baddie. She said one thing and was a different person than who she said she was, essentially. So I'm going to go back in time and just talk a little bit about what Jeremiah said he was looking for, why Hood had chose him, etc. And there's just a few clips that we can talk about from that.
Looking for strong, powerful women that has emotional intelligence and that can form a real connection that just build on top of each other and make each other better.
So strong and
Coked
powerful.
up Jeremiah sounds crazy. That's like double speed Jeremiah's nuts.
I think he's like, on 1.5 speed right now.
Oh, so he's still talking fast.
Come to get a new girlfriend. It's time to find something new.
So powerful.
Jeremiah, what are you looking for here?
Yeah, I'm open for anything, really.
Yeah?
Just find a girlfriend.
A girlfriend.
Yeah. I don't know about love. I would set the expectation and say love, but yeah, I'm
Right.
definitely here to find something for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well,
All right, so wait, so his list is I'm looking for powerful woman.
I want to be able to build on top of each other. I don't know.
I missed that completely. Build on top of each other. That's not,
whatever that means.
All right, Bob the Builder. And then what was the other thing? Something.
Something.
Yeah, something. Looking for something.
But not love.
Not love. Seems open to girlfriend, but like girlfriend is in passing at best.
Exactly. And then here's we know that there was that kissing challenge where the girls kissed two men, got to pick one of them, even if they were coupled up with someone. You, Lisa. And they had to explain why they chose that. So
Huda, what made you choose Jeremiah?
I really liked the things he said earlier about how he's looking for a girlfriend, and I feel like I need a more emotionally mature man, so.
Yeah? And what about the kiss?
It was really good.
Oh, Jeremiah, how does it feel to be in a couple with Huda?
I'm very happy to be here. I feel like I won. I ain't gonna lie.
All right, we have our next couple of Love Island USA 2025.
So her reasons for choosing him was because he's looking for a girlfriend.
Yeah,
Which I feel like he wasn't really listening.
Yeah,
what he said.
It's also, that's not a great bar. I mean,
that's all. That was the reason she chose him. And
looking for a girlfriend, I assume, is hot and kiss good. Was her 3?
Yeah. Well, Ariana had to bring that out.
Oh, and emotional maturity. Wait, did she say emotional maturity there?
In her intro, Jeremiah wants emotional maturity.
Okay.
In her specific intro, she said she likes to do cute things for people. She likes to give them love letters and flowers. I haven't really seen her do anything for Jeremiah, let alone ask him a question about himself. She said she wants a lifelong
Maybe it was mature man that she said there. She said something aside from looking for a girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, probably mature.
Yeah,
she did say he was emotionally mature. You're right. And I'm thinking of her intro, though. She wants a real man a lifelong partner.
As opposed to a doll.
And
A doll man.
Yeah, I don't know. She likes to use that term real man a lot. And I don't know what she means.
That drives me crazy. That's like that to me is like that predates the whole like alpha male, alpha female thing that people like to do, which is based on a fake study that was discredited. It's not, none of that's real.
Yeah.
No such thing as an alpha male and a wolf pack or whatever the hell. Now I'd have to talk like I'm a wolf guy or something. But it's the real man, real woman thing drives me crazy. It's such a red flag when people talk like that.
Yeah, I think she uses a lot of language like that where it's like real woman, real man.
Doesn't she do that again when she gets when she had the, I'm not even gonna call it an altercation, when Alandria literally just said we'll talk later?
Yes, I'll play that in a bit too. I also noticed that, so the reason I'm not playing like what she wants in a man is because she tends to contradict herself a ton around every corner. So I don't really want to like replay her words per se. But I also wanted to point out that they're incompatible because I don't think she necessarily listens to what he says. I think she hears what she wants to hear. And one example of that is when they went on their date, which I think was way too early in the season. I don't think they should have gone on a date this early.
Oh, so this is production's fault that they moved so
Yeah.
they got way too locked in.
Sure. I blame them now.
Ian did this.
I
God
blame
damn it, Ian Sterling.
I blame both of them for the situation they're in, but basically on the date, she said, I'm gonna play what she said, Jeremiah said first, and then I'll play what he actually said.
He was just talking to me, he was like, yeah, you know, because I was thinking about it, and like, obviously, I want us to move in together and stuff.
This is what he was saying?
Yeah.
Although I'm
You can make it out of here. And we're all good. What do you see like that looking like?
I see us living together in the future. Potentially.
Audio medium.
This face.
Audio medium. Or for those of you that are just listening, but
I highly recommend you watch, but
yeah, it's quite a face, but I think you hear it in his tone the rest of the clip.
If we did live together, so like, how would you see yourself?
It depends, like, where we're at when we leave. Like, if we leave together, I feel like, you know, we do, like,
I'm hearing words, if, it depends, if, say we were to.
Yeah.
And she feels a lot more certain.
Yeah, moving in together is not the goal for him right now.
long distance thing until, like, the leash is up. And then, same city, see how that is. And if that's smooth, then, you know, we progress that way. But then if, like, if it's, we're not ready for it, then it's like, you know, we're not living together and you still have your freedom to do your thing.
I just want you to know, like, there's no pressure on you, and I want you to know, like, you always have a choice. He was just talking to me, he was like, yeah, you know, because I was thinking about it, and, like, obviously, I want us to move in together and stuff.
This is what he was saying?
Yeah.
This alarms me.
I don't think that sentiment ever left his mouth.
Yeah.
I just don't know how you get that.
So, I don't know if you remember, but I was sus on Huda from the start. And the fire pit moment where she Karen'd out on Alandria is what made me throw a little side eye. I don't like it when women cry for the actions that they made. I don't like it when anyone cries about the actions that they made, having a reaction that I think equates to their actions. Does that make sense?
I didn't quite follow, but I do know what you mean. I do.
So let's just play.
Y'all just a bunch of bad little kids. You know?
Just rewinding for anyone who hasn't seen Love Island. I don't know why you'd be listening if you haven't, but this was the fire pit moment where the new bombshell Sierra and Charlie came in. The girls could stand up if they wanted to get to know Charlie more, and he would pick one of them. The boys could stand up if they wanted to get to know Sierra more, and she would pick one of them. All the boys stood up except for Jeremiah, and this was Huda's reaction, calling them bad little boys.
Proud of you. I don't like this. I don't like this. Y'all deserve some real men.
Girl, you don't have to play that.
What do you mean?
I'm saying.
Telling the girl they deserve real men.
Again, with the real men thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we're not upset.
No, I'm just saying.
No, you're being supportive. I love that, but it's okay.
And then Alandria, I think nicely says, like, girl, just, you don't have to do this.
Pretty comforting. She literally was like, it's okay. I'm good.
Like, I feel like you're trying to be nice, but, like, no, we don't need this right now. And I think I've talked about this before, but I feel like this was a very reasonable response from Alondria because her and Taylor have had really mature conversations, and she doesn't want to look crazy. She doesn't want to look like Taylor. I don't think you should have stood up for Sierra, even though it's like day 3.
And the show is Love Island.
Two.
It's not Nunnery Island. It's not.
I don't know if I would have seen this show, to be honest. The way she.
Yeah.
Have a nice little chat.
So- I was just gonna say, it's like you just have to unpack it for 5 seconds. If her whole insult around, we need some real men or whatever, then if like Alondria knows she's gonna get back with Taylor,
Yeah,
right after
exactly.
this, so like now it is an insult to Alondria. But
Exactly.
Peter. That's fine. Why's she crying? I don't know. I hope it's not because of what I said.
What you said? She was like, no, don't do that in front of everyone. Talk to me in private and say something like that.
No. Wait. I don't think she meant any harm to it.
Like, I would never do that to somebody.
No,
like,
of
that's so
course.
rude.
It's okay. Give me a
Wait.
Why would you say
I
something
want
like
to
that
clock
in front of
that
every?
for those of you who have watched the show up to this point. Why would you
Say
do that in
something like
front of
that in
everyone?
front
I would never do that to someone. Is crazy
Say something
work.
like that in front of everybody instead of saying it in private.
What happened?
I don't know. Huda just had some shit with the boys.
What did she
Okay,
say?
I don't know.
Well,
I just
10 days later, probably sooner, but from her to go from that to like, why would you do that? I would never. That's so rude. Do it in private, to doing this to Jeremiah after he went on the date with Iris.
saw a middle finger flies.
He's a
What'd you say?
because of the fact that he had a great day with Iris, because of what we're going through, he's using her as a scapegoat so that he can stay in the game.
Wait, what are you
I just sat there and listened to everything saying.
Okay,
Wait,
come. What did he say?
He wants to drop me to go with Iris.
Okay, come, baby. Come. Let's sit down.
No, you're a bitch.
Come sit down.
He's over here playing victim. You're a bitch.
Huda, keep it classy.
Like, ooh.
Do you want to go down with the boys?
Hell no. Let's stay up here.
Next up is the clip of her talking to Jeremiah about his interactions with another woman. Again, I don't think she's seen the show.
That's why I don't believe that. I literally don't. How can that possibly be true? Like, it's a reality show. How would you how would
Because of
you
what we're
ever
going
go
through,
on a
he's using her-
popular reality show not like vetting it out first?
Like, ooh.
Do you want to go down to
There are women that do that with housewives.
It could
with
be
the boys?
Nickelodeon
Let's
Studios
stay up here.
Slime Factory for all you know.
really good?
I knew she was interested in you.
I literally told her, like, yeah, it might have been like a rough morning, or like things might be bad, but that's my girl.
What'd you say?
I'm
You're never ever supposed to bring up any problems to anybody. I don't give a who it is. Ever.
Okay.
And guess what? I don't know. Don't fucking bring up shit about us, especially problems. Never do that.
All right, so that part alarmed me. His face, I just also feel like even just like the lack of things we know about him has changed with the new bombshell Adrina coming in. I just feel like we see a new side of Jeremiah that we weren't able to. He just was so downtrodden and sad and depressed the whole time he was with her. Well, not the whole time. I think the first day or two he was probably happy.
Yeah, now he is running around like a freshly divorced, like 50-year-old man running around like, I'm back in the game. He's already talking about, I like Latino women.
Oh. But I do also feel some people think the switch flipped when Huda told him she had a baby, but I think it switched with Pancake Gate. I think this day is what really did his head in, where she didn't like the way he cooked the pancake, came at just like every aspect of his being, like he needed to thank another boy for making her breakfast, even though he already had made it, and like also she said this, which I thought was crazy.
But yeah, you need to eat all of your food.
Why?
Because you're a man. You need to finish it.
All right, so this is helpful though, because we've been trying to unpack what does she mean when she says real man. One thing is eats
Eat
whole
your
plate.
food.
Eats entire plate is a big criteria for
She
her.
also told him he had
I got a lot of guys I could connect her to. after
she
this.
needed like, but babies do that too sometimes.
Hey, I got some babies I could connect
Women
her to.
do it. She also wanted him to do more pull-ups. I didn't grab that clip, but he was like doing pull-ups and she's like, you need to do more. So that's also a real man to her.
What does she want? Goku? Like,
I mean, that would probably be intriguing to him because we know now he likes comics. He likes Ponyo, his favorite movie, so he likes anime as well. Like, there's just so much that we didn't get from him because she was just looking for a real man who eats and does pull-ups. Like,
And like I understand. I know it sounds like something, or it probably seems like something that's very like whatever, bro, just get over it. But I will say, like, it's a fresh relationship, and I can imagine him being who he is, at least what I know of him, hearing that comment, being like, who do you think I am, and what is this personality you're trying to like foist upon me right now?
yeah,
Like,
there was a lot of that. I think just seeing his face when she said, "You need to eat your food because you're a man." Like, he he started to feel disconnected from what she wanted in her partner versus what he could provide. And then he also showed that when in their last argument right before he chose Iris in that door challenge thing.
yeah, when he's like, I'm not trying to convince you to like me
Like
or whatever.
me.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
trying to like, which I get what, again, I get what he was
I
saying. I'm
get
not
what he was
trying to
saying.
sell you. Like, I
Exactly.
want this to be genuine.
So I think the last clip I have is Girls Girl Incorporated Huda. The way she treats the other woman who even have
Girls,
a
girl,
passing glance at.
Girls Girl Incorporated GGI stocks at an
She's nice.
all-time low.
I don't like her. I just already don't like her. I don't like her. I don't think she's nice. I think that she has ulterior motives, and I just don't.
She doesn't think Amaya's nice. What a great judge of character she has.
Yeah, again, I can understand why first impressions, like, people might have maybe not the best reaction to Amaya just because some people can't handle a big personality like that. But, like, you cannot say she's not
She's
nice.
nice. Like, that's
Like,
the last word you can
that's the
use.
first thing that she is.
Yeah. It's the main thing that she is.
It took the only thing that got her to ever remotely act out of character, I feel like, was, and don't get me wrong, I'm an Ace apologist
Oh,
forever.
yeah, you are.
Unfortunately. For better or worse. Ace is my Huda, I guess. I don't know. Maybe, hopefully it doesn't get that bad. But he had the audacity to pick her and immediately be like, no,
Oh,
not interested.
the
Which, like, that would drive most people crazy, I feel like.
yeah, because he also would. She'd be minding her business and he'd be like, let me pull you for a chat just to be like, I don't like you. And I don't want you touching me, don't want you looking at me, don't want you calling me any niceties. Now go back to your day. Go on about your day.
I think like I'm not an expert on this, but like my understanding of what the dating world is allegedly like now. I think there are men that flirt like this,
Oh,
right? Like,
true.
isn't the
Like
term like
kindergarten.
negging is the word for it? Where it's like, hey, what's up, babe? You're like a 5. Like, is that a thing?
Not in my lifetime. Wouldn't work on me. All right, so she again
With
is
it.
just
I have a feeling it's not about her. She's a beautiful girl. Go her. Woo woo. But like
this isn't the last clip. There's a few seconds left, and I have a feeling
internally, I don't like it.
it's her being mean to another girl.
I cannot like it. And once again, Jeremiah failed. Congratulations, buddy.
There's just so many things
You're a dick.
that I can't touch on.
The reason why I didn't choose Huda because it was just too toxic, and that's why I chose the way I chose.
You know what? Enjoy it. Your safe option. Your scapegoat.
Can we pause here? I'm sorry. Two things. One, the Natalie Imbruglia cover goes unreasonably hard. Actually, I'm not usually crazy about the covers on the show. That went mad hard. But also,
Every cover of Torn is fire.
that's true. Maybe it's just a good song. Maybe the quality of the cover doesn't even matter. But the scapegoat thing drives me crazy.
Oh yeah, same.
Like, I get it. Like, I was a soc major and a lit minor. I know language is made up. It's a construct. As long as like all the rules are made up, as long as people understand what you're saying, it really doesn't matter. Here's my problem with the scapegoat. It's not. I know that she's using it wrong, but I don't know what she means. The only thing I know is that she's using it incorrectly. I don't know what she's actually trying to say with the scapegoat.
Because even scapegoat
Doesn't make sense in context.
Yeah. Huda. Yeah, and I felt bad of just watching her yell at Iris. I could see Iris wanting to be like, I'm not a safe option. I'm not an scapegoat. But
How would she know what that means? How would she know what an scapegoat means in this context? It's not a sorry.
she did whisper to Jeremiah in the end, which I think was just the mature thing to do. Like, I'm not a safe option. You're not my safe option. Iris grew on me. I know when she initially came, I was like, what? Who's she going to compete with? But she's definitely grown on me. She's very mature. She handles herself really well, especially with the abuse that I don't want to say
If
abuse.
anything, she might be too far on the other end of the show. Like maybe what we're really looking for seems like a lot of emotional maturity with Iris, not nearly enough in Huda. Maybe really we just need a happy medium for television. Like they don't need to be totally sane. You know.
Who Yeah, I don't think there's any happy medium here in this cast.
Yara.
True. I also wanted to talk about the fact that the house had numerous opportunities to get rid of Huda. They chose to keep Huda over Charlie, Huda over Jalen, and I think that luckily I was shouting justice for Jalen when they kept Huda over him, but I think justice has prevailed here. I noticed that he has gotten a large following on TikTok since leaving. He's getting interviews up the wazoo. He's gonna hopefully get business inquiries to Jalen Brown business only.
Jalen Brown business only. Also, real quick, I have to backtrack. I know I mentioned Sierra at the end of the last thing for sane cast members. I'm so ashamed. I also forgot to mention Shelly and Larry. Also, that's my fault, and
but
I just wanted to get ahead of it.
Shelly's a little boring. And Laundry is kind of like our Greek chorus, though. We do need her.
Yeah, I guess Shelly is kind of like she's more on the Iris side of the spectrum there.
Yeah, exactly. And you would think like someone like Ace would bring out more in her, but we'll see. All right, so I do think justice has prevailed for Jalen, and he's getting a lot of influencer, travel influencer opportunities. Brands are asking him to promote things, so at least he's coming out of this better than he left the house, and maybe it was good that he left. And
Jalen deserved better, and it seems he's getting better.
He's getting better. He has a passport now. I also remember last season, I feel like the phenomenon occurred with more people watching because Ariana Madix was the new host, but seeing just the love that certain people were getting. Leah, after that moment with Rob jumping in the pool, I remember her numbers going from like 60K followers to like a million.
Yep.
In like a few days. So,
but also she was on the whole season, whereas like Jalen was on for like 3 days.
Yeah.
Which is honestly is a stunning run.
His leaving was just so sad.
I know it was. It was.
He
it was
didn't
not
deserve it.
Justice was not served that day.
But I'm glad to see that he's gonna get the opportunities he deserves out of this because he seemed like a stand-up guy. And then just briefly, I wanted to talk about Two Girls, One Island. The way that Hannah deals with
a horrible headline.
deals with turmoil, just the situations that happen on this island versus Huda. I feel like there's just such a juxtaposition between how Hannah knows she would say it constantly. I'm here for hot men to pursue me. And she doesn't pull men for chat. She waits for them to pursue her. She, I think, moves very respectfully in the house. She's definitely a girl's girl. She definitely is giving love to anyone who gives it to her if she's attracted to them, obviously. And she's doing Love Island right, in my opinion, like completely right. Versus Huda, who I don't think has seen the show. She needs to like look to Hannah for some guidance.
She's not even looking to Hannah for, hey, can I talk to your man? Also unrelated, but did you do this Photoshop of this with Jeremiah like sitting on Hannah's shoulder?
It's where he belongs in a safe space. But yeah, I really feel like Hannah's probably even seen like Love Island UK in Australia because she knows why she's there. She knows how to navigate the experience, and Huda just does not. And I think like also I'd try to give Huda grace because you met me when I was 24. I mean a little early, but like we started dating when I was 24. And yeah, you're a little crazy in there.
I mean,
a lot of emotions going on, and
I was 21. I'm sure you had it worse. I was like 2 months in.
Yeah, and I think also isn't Jeremiah like 22 and she's 24, so they have kind of the same dynamic.
Yeah,
But
you were there for like half of my legal drinking story, my first legal drinking story.
yeah, so I think that there's I try to give grace, but I think my main issue with Huda is that she it seems like she's never seen the show and she's crashing out every day because she's treating this like she's in the outside world where she found a guy and their boyfriend girlfriend and said she like doesn't understand the concept of coupling up and exploring options. So yeah,
Coupling up does not mean you're dating. This certainly does not mean you're exclusive.
you have like literally on the show you have to say you're exclusive. You have to say you have to ask someone to be your girlfriend. You have to like talk about life outside of it. And even when they talked about life outside of it, she switched up like what was even said. So
maybe this is how they're getting so much of the like apparently the NBA finals demographic, it sounds like. Just because there's so many like there's rules, there's terminology.
yeah,
There's, you know.
it is a sport, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, Casa Amor is our Super Bowl kind of. Well, no, because it's not the end. I guess
I feel like Casa Amor is playoffs.
Playoffs.
Like
Yeah,
that's where playoff season starts. Where it's like, all right, we're really gonna see who's sticking around, who's got the goods this season. And then honestly, I feel like I know the finale should be the Super Bowl. I don't know why I'm going with this so far with this metaphor.
You love sports, that's why.
Oh yeah, you know me. Yeah. But no, I feel like the finale is not the Super Bowl just because I feel like it's so often like, hey, we basically know how it's going, and if there's nothing we can control really. It's usually like a week or so before when they do the costumes.
The heartbeat challenge.
Yeah, the heartbeat challenge. That to me that's the Super Bowl episode.
That's the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
No, movie night.
Actually, what am I
Movie
talking
night's the
about?
Super Bowl.
Shut me up forever.
Well, it's because we, just as I mentioned last episode with Snog, Marry, Pie, there was a time where America didn't get movie night,
That's so crazy to me.
and it is so neat.
Did movie night start with Ariana's season?
Yeah,
Or was it the
that was the
season
first.
before?
I believe actually, who's on? It might have been.
We don't have to have an answer to this right
It
now.
might have been the season with like
With oh my God, Soul
John
Ties is crazy.
Marie. Yeah.
I forget cast members' names so fast.
Easily, we watch a lot of television.
Actually, it does also like sports. In that way.
And then I just want to take a moment and thank Megan, the Blessed Stallion, for that Thursday night episode. It was such a palate cleanser, and I'm gonna watch this episode and I'm feeling down because it was everything. The
What an opportunity! Well, like truly, what an opportunity for the cast. That
everything about it.
Like, I don't care how good you are. I don't care how like Ace is apparently a professional dancer. Do with that information what you want. Yeah, like clearly so many folks in this cast can dance, can twerk, yada yada yada. I don't care how good you are at any of those things. It takes an insane level of confidence to be able to be willing to do that, to dance / twerk in front of, or in Shelley's case, upon Megan the Stallion. Like, also, it's not like they got notice. They found out on the spot. So that's hats off to the cast for that too. I don't want to take away.
This cast is so good.
Yeah.
They're like reminiscent of Geordie Shore or that show The Valleys. Not The Valley.
Yeah. Yeah, the British
Valleys.
The Welsh Valley.
Well, yeah, like they all have such personality and their own personality, and the majority of them are true to themselves. And the boys are like boys more than the girls being girls, which has made this season interesting. Like, even just look at the way they're reacting to Nick in the background. Actually, anytime Nick does anything, they just love it. They go crazy.
Nick's funny, man. Nick is like, I don't,
hilarious.
It's not election tampering, but I voted on Friday, and I voted Nick and Shelley.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No,
Nick and
Sierra.
Sarah. Oof.
I voted Nick. My faves were Nick and Alondria. I just love Alondria.
Yeah. Oh, you're a Nick Alondria stan?
Well, I
feel like that's not happening.
I don't think it's happening,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that they're good friends, but Alondria, I want her to go to the end. I think she deserves love, even if it's not Taylor.
Are you saying Nick wouldn't make it to the end?
He'll make it to the end. I don't know if he'll win.
Think he might.
We'll see.
I mean, I saw a thing online. It was like, I saw a thing on the internet.
Something on-
No, I saw a TikTok talking about like last year we got the PPG. This year we have Ed and Eddie.
Ed.
It's Taylor. It's Taylor, Nick, and Ace.
Yeah, we do seem to have a boy gang, unlike any other this season. They also seem a lot more like emotionally intelligent than past seasons. The conversations that they have with each other, they tend to talk things out, apologize appropriately,
Hold each other accountable
hold each
too.
other accountable.
Like the Ace and Nick and them talking to Jeremiah, actually around the same time that Hood have freaked out. But like that had been, I think, it seemed like a very healthy conversation up to that point.
Yeah, and they're not taking things personally, because even like the way in Friday's episode with the milk spitting challenge,
That
like
was insane.
Jeremiah didn't take him getting spit milk all over him personally, but
Yeah.
Huda did, and I think like it seems like the boys watched the show.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, again, shout out, the swallow move was ridiculous, and the swap with him and C.
Oh, Sierra, TJ, and yeah, that was hilarious.
That was
probably the least repulsive food spitting challenge I've seen. I usually fast forward through.
Yeah.
Actually, both of us do. We usually
we
walk
need to-
away.
in general, we need to stop these. And I'm actually like, it was Nick saved that challenge, or I feel like Nick and Sierra collectively saved that challenge from being too awful. Just with like, again, very funny crew there, but
I just couldn't deal with this. I mean, spitting into each other's mouths, normal for Love Island.
Yeah.
It was the spit bucket being poured on people's heads.
Oh my god.
That threw me over the edge.
Yes.
Like, who thought of this?
I'm actually mad at Nick for making it funny, because now like they still might do weird food stuff next season, and I just want it to be over forever. I don't ever need a food challenge again.
Ever.
Unless it's them actually making food. The only food challenge I need is Ace telling the guys breakfast is the bare minimum. That's the only food challenge I want on this show.
It's getting glitchy again. So I also think it's funny that the twerking challenge with Megan, it's gonna be choppy. I also wanted to talk about how the twerking challenge with Megan was a bit meaningless, because the girls won, but then both of them still got their bombshells. I thought that was pretty cute.
Yeah, I mean, I was disappointed in the fellas, but I was also I was already railing against the rules. I was like, how is a twerk challenge even fair?
The boys did that, as you see. They're the only ones on my screen.
The fact that they, I don't know how they justified tying that, because.
But my favorite commentary about Austin's dancing was that he looks like a cricket that was set on fire dancing.
He's doing his best.
But look at the boys, we're just so happy. Anyway, all right. That's it. That's all we've got for Love Island Palooza. I appreciate you joining.
Thanks for having me. It was lovely.
You can stay for the lie of the week if you want.
I'm just fine.
All right. Well, thanks for joining, Eric, and
thanks for having me.
You've been a great DI hire. I appreciate it. You've proven that
Thank you.
Diversity matters.
Thank you. I try every day.
All right. Bye. Love you. All right. So up next, we've got our liar of the week. And this week, it's a double dose for you. So I have never seen the show Chrisley Knows Best, but as someone who stays quite on top of the political landscape, I noticed that fraud recognized fraud, and now we have a fraudulent pair just running amok. So the liars of the week are going to be Todd and Julie Chrisley. So Bravo Docket does a wonderful breakdown of the crimes and frauds of these two, but the TLDR version is that back in 2022, they were found guilty of scamming over $30 million in fake loans by exaggerating their earnings. That's the gist of it. But even before their rise to fame, they were scamming hard. They had fraudulent statements to get bank loans. and they would use that to live lavishly or use it to like repay other loans that they received. And they also would claim that they didn't have enough money to even pay taxes, even though they were making like $1 million a month flipping houses and stuff. And then even while filming their show, where you could see they were living lavishly, where you could see they had a bunch of housekeepers, a bunch of cars, a really nice house, like they were playing tax dodgeball throughout that whole time. So they were doing just like blatant fraud before our eyes on our screens and decided that they were not guilty for any of this. Also, fun fact, during their trial, one attorney withdrew because he was not getting paid. So they're just like scammers from day one. Because of their choices and their behavior, Todd got 12 years in prison and Julie got 7, and they started serving their time in early 2023. But another felon decided to provide full pardons for the Chrisleys because their daughter, Savannah, is part of the felons cult. And she spoke at last year's RNC. And again, fraud recognized fraud, so now they're free. So now they're out of prison and they're filming a Lifetime docuseries about their comeback. And now I've got competition because they're re-releasing their podcast where they give people advice. But their podcast, I thought it was interesting. I listened to the trailer. I've never heard an ad play before a trailer, especially in a different language. But for some reason, theirs does.
有了全新 McValue 提供的$5 Meal Deal， 你可选择一份 McDouble 或 McChicken， 再拥有小薯条、小杯饮料及 4-piece McNuggets。这么多 McDonald's 却不用花大钱，价格与参与情况可能有所不同。McDouble 套餐在某些市场限时售价为$6。
Hi, I'm Todd Chrisley.
And I'm Julie Chrisley from the hit USA show Chrisley Knows Best.
And now, because we wanted to speak...
So that sounds like that was taped in like a dungeon. So I'm not going to play the whole thing, but it was just an odd trailer to me. They are also doing an interview on an entertainment network that poses as news next week. I'm not going to promote that one, so you can find the info yourself if you are particularly interested. But just to recap, these folks performed $30 million in fraud. They faked documents to obtain loans. They spent the loan money on lavish things and to pay back other loans, like a little loan Ponzi scheme. They evaded taxes for years. They served a wee bit of prison time before being pardoned by another felon, and then they are now doing a reality TV reboot and a new podcast where they give their followers advice. So yeah, the Chrisleys are our liars of the week. Up next, we prove there's a little bit of emo in everyone, and this week's emo soul twin is none other than our girl Kristen Doute. And the song that captures her chaotic conscious evolution is Dr. Hoops by Origami Angel. So to be honest, Kristen has always been an emo with a capital E girly, but on the Valley, we're seeing something different. She's not just pretending to be fully healed. She's trying to reconnect with who she was before all of the Vanderpump messiness and all of the rules that came with it. So this track opens up with full existential spiral, self-deprecating, dramatic, and loud, just like the Valley Kristen from like season 1. And also everything we saw in Vanderpump Rules. But then it erupts into catharsis. The riffs go wild. The energy builds like someone finally letting themselves feel the things they kept stuffing into late night alcohol-ridden meltdowns for years. The lyrics, I think I'm starting to like myself. I think I'm right where I need to be the best version of myself, to be the version that I want you to see. I feel like I found the secret. I knew that I just can't keep it bottled inside. I can no longer hide what I feel. On the Valley, I see Kristen learning to speak her truth without burning every bridge in the process. And you can tell that she both likes herself and loves herself, and you can't help but love her right back. So yeah, Kristen Doute is going to be this walking bridge between millennial emo and Bravo-fueled growth, and we love it. And she again proves that there's a little bit of emo in every single. All right, last but not least, we've got our special report. Dear Diary, my bank account says no, but the tour calendar says absolutely. Here's what's fueling my latest emotional crisis. All-time low are headlining the Everyone's Talking North American Tour from October through November with over 30 shows lined up. They're also appearing at major festivals across the US, including Louder Than Life, When We Were Young, and Aftershock. Pink Shift announced their Earthkeeper tour, which kicks off in October with Lust Sick Puppy, along with Do Flame and Combat on select dates. They'll be releasing an album of the same name, Earthkeeper, on August 29th. You can actually listen to two of the tracks now from the album, Anita and Evil Eye. Anne Boleyn is touring to mark the 20th anniversary of Never Take Friendship Personal Tour with the Almost and Watashi Wa across the US. You can also catch them at festivals like Vans Warped Tour in California, Furnace Fest, and they did just perform at Not Just a Phase Fest in Kansas City over the weekend. And Bayside is celebrating 25 years with the Errors Tour, performing 2-night residencies where they deliver a different classic album on each date. So night 1, you'll get songs from Sirens and Condolences, Self-Titled, The Walking Wounded, Shudder. And on night 2, you'll get songs from Killing Time, Cult, Vacancy, Interrobang, and There Are Worse Things Than Being Alive. And that's all I got for you today, emo darlings. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, all the things. And have a great week. I'll see you next week.